Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and the amount of information that we have for Pokemon Sun and Moon is absolutely insane right now. This is like the most news we've gotten before a game release, and it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. So for this video, I want to talk about all of the new moves that have been revealed so far, because it seems like just a short amount of time. Like, all of this started back in May with the starter reveal, and we're in September now, so over the course of summer, it's been really growing, and it's kind of easy to lose track of everything going on. So let's go and look at the new moves revealed so far. If we have enough information, might talk about them a little, but for the most part, it's just kind of like this. Hey, it's Rowlet. Rowlet gets a new move called Leafage. And there it is. And there it goes. So the interesting thing to talk about here is that all of the starter Pokemon do start out with a stab move. That Linton is going to start out with Ember, Popplio is going to start out with Water Gun, and then Rowlet gets a new move, Leafage, so low base power, stab move for those Pokemon. Next up, we have Solgaleo and Lunala. They both get a new signature move. This one's going to be Sunsteel Strike from Solgaleo. And despite it looking fire, it's actually a steel-type move that actually seems to do an insane amount of damage. And what it does is it ignores the target's ability. And it's going to be the same for Lunala and its Moongeist Beam. So once we get through the animations, we can see that Moongeist Beam kind of does the same thing, except it's still a pretty crazy-looking move. I mean, we get the visor, and then it lights up and it's this crazy beam, and then Gengar gets absolutely wrecked. But since it's a super effective hit, we can kind of assume that's going to be a ghost type move as well. And it also has Geist in the name, so that's stuff on the Alola region. And then next up, let's just start picking at all the new Pokemon and the random moves and stuff. So for Oricorio, we have the new move Revelation Dance. It matches Oricorio's type, and it hits just like that. Also, comboing with the ability Dancer, it's going to be interesting to see if, like, Oricorio can copy Revelation Dance off of another Oricorio and its Dancer ability. But it is a nice little thing to have, that depending on what the moveset Oricorio is going to have, you can actually change up the typing depending on what you need. Actually, I wanted to go and pause it because we have Ghost, Electric, Psychic, and Fire. So that's pretty nice. And if it has a solid base power, again, we don't know the base power of these moves, it'll probably be pretty useful, and then combos with whatever else is going to be in its kit. Next up, we might as well talk about Zygarde for a bit. Zygarde gets the new move right here, and that's going to be Core Enforcer. So Core Enforcer is actually pretty crazy. I didn't pay attention to what it did, but it actually removes the target's ability if Zygarde moves after the target. So that's it. I'm calling it Z version Strike because that's what it looks like for sure. And as for 1000 Waves, 1000 Arrows, it has been confirmed that those moves will be in this game. 1000 Arrows knocks the opponent to the ground. 1000 Waves mean they cannot escape. And those are going to be the signature moves of Zygarde. Next up, we have Instruct. Oranguru recently revealed, and its Instruct ability, or not ability, its Instruct move is ridiculous. So Oranguru is going to Instruct, and then look at that, Wishy-Washy is going to Surf again. The amount of combos, the amount of potential, and also has a telepathy ability, so you can Surf and not even hurt Oranguru, and then dumpster everything in your way. That's actually a really crazy thing to think about. So the combos are all over the place. What if you use 2 Choice Scarf Eruptions or 2 Choice Scarf Water Spouts? Because Instruct moves immediately after your ally moves. So if your ally is faster than your opponent, Oranguru is just going to Instruct them faster than your opponent, and you attack again immediately. This is going to be amazing for many different reasons. And then also, what about single target moves? You can do something like Last Resort. You can just double down on Earthquakes. If you get a very powerful Pokemon and you can do 50% of your opponent's health, well, Oranguru means that you do 100% of their health, and you can do something like a crazy double sweep on the Marowak and the Mudsdale. So that's going to be something to watch out for in double battles, and it's going to be crazy to watch all the combos that end up developing because of it. Next up, we have Magearna. Alright, so Magearna's crazy enough with its Soul Heart ability that whenever any Pokemon faints in battle, it gains special attack, whether it be the opponent or the ally. But then we have Fleur Cannon. So Fleur Cannon does crazy damage, and it looks to be a fairy type move. So what we do know about this from the other trailers and other information on Magearna is that Fleur Cannon is actually going to drop its special attack by 2. So it seems to be like Psycho Boost on Deoxys, or any one of those moves like Overheat and something. So high amounts of base power lowers your special attack, doesn't really bother Magearna because of that, and it also gets stabbed, so you can do a lot of neutral damage. So an ally feints, you floor cannon, you can probably neutrally one-shot, the opponent feints, and now you're, hey, look at that, you're at +0 again, and you're ready to use floor cannon and do craziness. Or contrary, let's not forget about contrary, that could always be a thing. And then Executor. So Executor is kind of weird, that we see how it attacks. It uses its giant head as a hammer, and that's a thing. So it does have the new move, Dragon Hammer. I don't know if we saw the animation right there, but it was revealed that there is a new move for Alolan Executor exclusively. Actually, I'm going to go on to Cerebi, because I think Cerebi recently talked about this once all the pictures and stuff loaded. Ah, right here. So yeah, it was just like a random little thing that happened. Earlier today, Nintendo Japan uploaded a new episode of their special Neko Mario, the Cat Mario show, and showed that there was a segment on Alolan Executor. In the segment, showcased a brand new move, so Executor in the game, and it was an unnamed move as of August 1st, and now it's called Dragon Hammer. So it seems like it might be the same thing that we've seen on the reveal, and now it's officially called Dragon Hammer. So it's going to get stabbed, and it's probably going to have like some crazy thing. If it's anything like Wood Hammer, high base power, bit of recoil, but that's okay because you're destroying everything with stab. Next up, Tapu Koko. So Tapu Koko gets Nature's Madness, which drops the opponent's health by half. We didn't get to see it there, but if you go to the official website, they start talking about it. So it's kind of like a Super Fang, except it's called Nature's Madness, and Tapu Koko gets it. So that means Tapu Koko can do damage to tanks if it needs to support in doubles. And with Tapu Koko's new ability, giving it electric terrain, that's going to be pretty nice for doubles. So Tapu Koko going to be a doubles Pokemon, and it can have that supportive power if there's a Pokemon that's just a little too tanky to deal with. Oh boy, Lycanroc. Lycanroc's midday form got the better end of the deal for sure, because it gets the new move, Accelerock. Accelerock does what it sounds. It's a priority rock type move. So there goes Accelerock, and there's Ice Shard. We know that Lycanroc is faster than Cloyster, so that's crazy to think about. Also, it looks like Quick Attack. It's just boom, rock. It's insane. Now, I have talked about this move before, in that it's going to be a toss-up. If Lycanroc's a super fast Pokemon, has over 120 base speed anyways, you're better off using Rock Slide because you're outspeeding most of the things in the game anyway. But if it has a good amount of attack and a decent speed, I did the damage calculations, and you can like one-shot Talonflame with ease, you can one-shot Charizard with ease, and also that means you can two-shot a lot of other flying-type Pokemon, so it's going to work out really well. Combo with Stealth Rocks like mad, and it's just a priority rock move. It's as scary as it sounds, and it works out pretty well. Next up, we have Turtonator. So, actually, Turtonator is a Pokemon that I haven't seen many people talk about, and I think it's dropped off the radar for a lot of people, because it just got a quick little 47-second video, and I think this was a part of one of those European events. Was this Gamescom? I don't remember, but Turtonator just kind of happened, and then it sets the unique move Shell Trap, and then it blows up and does damage back to the opponent. So, we don't really know too much else about it. It just says Shell Trap is a move that only Turtonator can learn. With this move, the Pokemon can set a trap at the beginning of the turn, and if Turtonator is hit by an opponent with a physical attack, it triggers and will deal much greater damage to the opponent. Sounds like counter, but if it's actually really interesting because it sounds like counter, but it's interesting because it's priority, so you actually get to use it at the beginning of the turn, then if the opponent hits you, then it deals damage back. We don't know what the damage modifier is, so it sounds like counter, except not really, and it kind of works like powder as well, because it looks like it sets the trap at the beginning of the turn, so it does get priority, similar to powder. If you guys don't know, it's a move that only Vivillon gets, and it's not really used too often, but pretty much it sets a trap at the beginning of the turn, and if the opponent uses a fire-type move, they take 25% of their maximum hit points. But it does have a priority of +1, which is actually one of the surprising things about how powder works. Other than that, though, it doesn't seem like it's going to negate the damage, because powder actually stops the fire-type move. This just sets a trap, and we don't know what the damage modifier is going to be, because the priority is going to be less than counter, or is it going to be the same as counter, but just in a different way because it has to be a signature move for Turtonator? Who knows? And then we have Alolan Marowak. So Alolan Marowak, it's really interesting as to what this new move is going to be. We actually kind of see it in the Alolan Marowak trailer, that it just throws out a club of fire, and then fire things happen. And there we go. Now on the website, we can actually get an idea of what this move does and maybe even pinpoint its base power. So Alola Marowak proves skilled at an attack in which it waves its bone and releases a ball of flame. The fireballs are not that powerful, but they tirelessly pursue the foe. Oh, actually guys, I'm going to give you a couple seconds as to what this move could possibly do. That's right, it bypasses accuracy check, and it seems like it's going to be exactly like Swift, Shockwave, Aerial Ace, Magical Leaf. Low base power, but bypasses accuracy check, and we know it's going to get stab off of Marowak, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's like flimsy, well actually I overshot, there we go. Flimsy little fireball attack, but there we go. It's your Swift, accuracy, boom, bonk, get wrecked, there we go. And actually, I wonder if it's ghost type, because it was used on the Haunter, so maybe trying to show it might be super effective. But other than that, we know Marowak is a fire ghost, so yeah. Could be fire, could be whatever. So Mudsdale's an interesting one. It actually has a new move, but we don't know its name, we don't know its base power, we don't know its effects. Mudsdale is seen using it in one of the trailers. I couldn't even find the trailer. It was just something that's been talked about. So Mudsdale also gets a signature move on top of his signature ability. Mudsdale can have the new stamina ability that no other Pokemon's had before. With stamina, Pokemon's defense goes up by 1 when hit by an attack. That's really good. And also, if its signature move works out really well, I'm wondering if it's like a single target Earthquake. No, it does 90 to 100 base power, but then doesn't have to worry about accuracy as much because it has 100% accuracy. That'd be really nice because it means in single battles, you can really pick down a foe and not have to worry about Earthquake damage being split or hurting your ally. But we don't know anything about it, so that's just speculation. But Mudsdale, actually on the list of new Pokemon moves. And then we also have Lurantis. So Lurantis gets Solar Blade, which is the Solar Beam, but it looks like physical. So move that releases a blade-shaped beam to mince up its foes. Blade is so sharp it can slice a rock in half, but it takes a turn. So Lurantis absorbs energy on the first turn and then unleashes a powerful attack on the second turn. It's Solar Beam. And I think that's it for all of the new moves that we have seen, but there's also new Z moves to talk about as well. So Z moves, we don't know how much base power they're going to have. We don't know how crazy they are, but we have seen a lot of them in the trailers. We've seen all kinds of like dance animations to set it up and just power and stuff. But when it comes to the exclusive Z moves, these are the ones to talk about. So we have Stoked Spark Surfer on the Raichu, we have Pulverizing Pancake on the Snorlax, we have Catastropika on the Pikachu, and then Extreme Evo Boost. So I've already talked in length about Extreme Evo Boost. That increases each of Eevee's stats by 2 stages. That's terrifying, and then as for the other exclusives, we don't really know what it's going to do, but it seems that they're going to be more powerful than the normal Z moves, else there really wouldn't be a point of having them be exclusive to the Pokemon. Either way, that's what we have. So if you guys enjoyed the video of all the new moves in Pokemon Sun and Moon, I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.